Welcome to the Uplifters podcast, where every week we talk to women who are doing big, brave things in the world. I'm your host, Aransas Savas, and I'm a little bit giddy right now because I'm actually recording this intro just after re-listening to the episode you're about to hear. Today, I get to introduce you to Karisma Jay. This episode is so freaking good, and it feels so right on time for this moment. I think so many of us are feeling short on resources right now. Like our actual bank accounts maybe are low, or maybe just our hope is running low, or maybe that courage capital account that we keep talking about is kind of hitting rock bottom. So if that's you today, I really hope this episode feels like medicine. So a little about Karisma. She is a true multi-hyphenate, an award-winning performing artist, a dancer, an actress, a filmmaker, a director, a wellness coach, a teacher, an entrepreneur, and of course, the founder of the 12-year-old nonprofit Abundance. She's performed on Broadway, been featured in the New York Times, taught at Juilliard, and somehow still finds time to mentor the next generation of young artists. She's been really successful, but that doesn't mean that everything has come easy. And what she's going to talk to us about today is the power of perspective, how we can ask ourselves what we have in our luggage right now instead of focusing on what we don't have right now. I'm going to listen to this episode again and again and again. I just know. And I'm going to talk about it with my mother and my daughters and my friends because it is so jam-packed with practical wisdom about how we take these tough times right now and turn them into something that is for us, not working against us. Okay. Let's get into it. Karisma, welcome to the Uplifters podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my
How
gosh.
exciting.
Thank you for
How
being here.
uplifting.
Just reading your bio is pretty freaking uplifting because what it says to me is that we do not have to confine ourselves to a single path. We can express ourselves on many different roads. And you're shaking your head. Tell me what that's meant and looked like in your life.
You know, it's so funny. I used to resent the jack of all trades comment because I was just like, why do people keep, and then I heard the end and I'm like, there it is. It's the fulfillment of mastery, right? It's the going after all the non-linear parts of ourselves because no one is monolithic. We are so many things. Even in one single conversation, there's nuance, right? There's no one way to say something. There's no one way to be. There's no one way to dress. Even if you just decided, you know what, this year I want my closet to just be filled with black. There's so many variations of black. You know, it's like everyone wear your best black. And it's like, well, that's a gray black and that's a black black. And that's actually a hint of orange black. And, that, you know, there are so many undertones. So in terms of me and the word multi-hyphenate, it's really encompassing of all the commas I have, all the versions of me. It allows me to keep evolving and growing. I get to express myself in so many different ways. And I'm just really humbled that the world receives me in that way because we've kind of arrived to that. Whereas, you know, like when my mom or my grandma they were being raised, it was like you had to do this one thing. And even my mom now, she has inspired me so much because on any given day, she's either doing a yoga headstand, she's on Martha's Vineyard fishing for the first time, catching all the fish on the boat, telling others how to catch fish. I'm like, you don't even fish, lady. You know, it's like you get to be who you want to be as you be it.
Yes. And it's only limited by your own interest and passion and willingness to learn.
Correct.
That said, I think for all of us who have lived on lots of roads, we
Right.
can look back and see some through lines. What do you see when you step back and look at what connects your paths?
Erykah Badu has this quote, and it's, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my ish. And I feel so connected to, like, I'll never forget when she said it. I think it was like a sound bite from a concert. And it was like, I might have been 9 or something. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so seen. Because the through line for me really is artistry. There's an art to the way I tie my shoe. There's an art to the glasses we choose, right? There's an art to my size earrings or what I decide to put on my lip. Like, I like to express myself in all these different ways because I'm an artist, and I am grateful that I've been allowed to be an artist from the very beginning. I have been allowed to truly have a voice. So the story goes that my mom, when I was in her womb, tried out different names, and Charisma was the name that I responded to. It was the only name that I responded to. And I responded by dancing. So I would
Mm.
stretch my leg out and like flex it really hard, or push my elbow out, or like do things that really just let her know, oh my God, this girl is listening. This girl has making a choice. And shout out to my mom for surrendering that control to actively listen to me respond in a nonverbal way about who I am. That's really the through line for me. It's that I get to be who I am. I am an artist through and through. I respond to the call, whatever the call is, from whomever it's calling me. And the fact that I have a community who then responds unconditionally,
Mm.
listens to me, receives me. That's how I am able to do all the things I'm doing.
Are you ever afraid to express yourself?
Are you kidding me? Absolutely. You know, the tricky thing
Thank
about
you for
being,
saying yes, because
the
I'm
trickiest
glad I'm not
part
alone.
is like knowing what you know and still being scared anyway, right? So it's like I can coach anyone through a hard time. And the hardest thing I've had to do in my life, I would say, is coach myself, because
Oh.
I'm like, I know that, like, I know, I teach it, I coach it, I study it, I do all this, like, I know it. And yet we're human. And yet that noise can seep in and take over. I would say the most recent fear for me, aside from just like the world ending, I feel like I've had to juggle the awareness and consciousness that I have around what I know, and give myself grace to feel what I feel, and balance the fact that my feelings can be fleeting because they are just feelings. So what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Who do I need to be around so that my feelings don't stay in that dark place? So my feelings, like, it's almost like I need everything around me to give me back.
Mm.
And that I've been working on. So when I'm in my happy go lucky pink cute glasses, on my fro is throwing today, excited moment, I really work to make sure that I reinforce my happy places and my happy folks and so that when I need, because it will come, it always comes, when I
Uh-huh.
need me back, they actually give me back when I can't give me
Mm.
to myself.
Mhm.
So
So
I've
it's like
had like,
pouring into it when you have it available to
yeah.
give.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think we, as just a tool, need to utilize more often. It's like, okay, if you know you're going to need sunscreen the next time you travel, it's almost like you buy it on the vacation you're on and put it in your bag already. So that in the suitcase, it's like, oh shoot, it's the last minute and life and I didn't get to pack what I want. It's packed already. Oh my God, thank God. So I've been operating like that, even because with all these commas after my name, I have a million things going on and I forget those things, and I'm like at the gift shop, like, how much are you charging for this? I spent all my money on this luxury vacation and now I have to buy $19 million sunscreen, all the things. And with that, I'm like, if I, or as I prepare for myself, as I show up for myself before I'm masked, I am ready for when it's there in front of me. That's what
Mm.
I've been working on very hard.
Mhm. And what does that work look like? Can you give us some examples?
Sometimes it just looks like cleaning. I haven't been, listen, I've been all over the place. I've toured. I've lived more of my life out of suitcases, traveling the world than I have been at home, right? And recently, I used to like be outside, and recently I'm like taking like real stock in terms of I like home. Like I like and what do I like at home? I didn't know. So I needed to ask myself, well, what do you like when you come back from a trip, when you're on tour for all these months? Like what, recreating and creating me and
Mm-hmm.
getting to know me, sitting with myself, asking myself, what do I want to explore today? Or how do I want my house to feel? Does it work when my bed's not made when I come back home? No, I like the pullback. I like the turn down service in my house too, right?
And I
Asking
can give that
myself,
to
I
myself.
can give that to myself. Like, what can I give to myself? And it's a lot of work because I have not always been this structured or this organized or this, right? So I'm like, I don't like tripping over my shoes. So let me
Mm-hmm.
put them away the time before. Again, I am not an expert, Jeff. However, I'm learning what I don't like and what I do like, and I am giving that stuff to myself. Even as it pertains to relationships, jobs, gigs, people, just I'm like, so that is what I like,
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that work it's rooted in therapy, it's rooted in books, it's rooted in journaling. Like I say all the time, like I've done The Artist's Way several times. And it's a book by Julia Cameron. It's like my artist Bible. It's not like it is my artist Bible. It doesn't matter at what point in my life that I pick it up. It's so on brand. It's crazy. It's like, is she listening? Is she watching? And one of the things that I did more recently is I did it with like a vehemence because I noticed that in all these other areas of my life, I'm able to show up when it's showing up for other people, showing up for other things. But when it comes to me, I felt like I had been letting myself down and letting myself off the hook in certain areas. Not in all areas, just there's certain areas where I'm like, well, if you can be whole and show up this way successfully here, it's the same you. So how can we, take that discipline across all disciplines? How can we take, and so the last time I just finished it at the beginning of this year, The Artist's Way, and I did it with such a commitment, like I was marrying myself. I am doing this as if I'm coaching myself, as if I am holding myself to the same accountability that I would if someone else asked that of me. So that's
I
the
love
work.
that. I talk about that as showing up for myself with integrity.
That's the piece. And
Yeah.
that's my favorite word ever. Even as it applies to just like dance, I tell my students all the time, like if you mean for your knee to be straight and your développé, then there's no bend. Like it
Mm,
has to be straight, right?
mm,
If you go to partner for a lift, there's no buckling, but no, you are going to get this lift to work. And what do you need to do to get this to work? It's really that athletic approach that
mm-hmm.
is input and output. It's the chemistry of it all, right? You pour these two, NaCl. You have some Na, you have some Cl, right? You have to get your sodium, your chloride, you pour it together so that you create this outcome. And I've been working really hard on my outcomes and with grace and space, but still with diligence and integrity, like you said.
And it sounds like really figuring out what that precise recipe is. And I
Yeah.
think of that as context in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
In what context do I act like an adult for myself? In what
Yes.
context?
No, literally. In what context? Because also to your point, it's like, okay, it's time for fun. All right, put the fun hat on, honey. Like, today was rest day and I kept finding things to do. I said, remember what we said. Like, there's a time and space for this. Like, we said today is rest day. So that's it. That's what integrity is. It's
Yes.
rest is rest.
It's honoring yourself.
That's it.
Well, and there's this other through line emerging for me very intentionally in your stories, and that even from the way you from inside the womb chose your name, it was
Yes.
this is what she responds to, this is what she likes. And so there is this self discovery, it seems like happening constantly for you of going, what do I like? What does feel good to me? What do I want more of and less of? And letting those very personal insights lead your choices. Is that how you choose professionally which roads to go down or artistically which roads to go down?
Choose everything that way. It has become so automatic. I don't have control over it. It is. And that's what I had to lean into. I had to start to surrender to the it is part of me.
Mhm.
Because, like I was saying to my mom, like all last year, I'm like, Mom, you taught me that what is will be. There is no way. I mean, I've literally seen mountains move out of nowhere. Like my life, it's like where there was no way. I've seen miracles, things that don't make sense for the normal, tangible. No, no, no. It's genuinely like it was supposed to be. And when it is not, it just isn't. I've literally seen both examples time and time again. So for me, I've been doing like this little dance lately of just like letting be because I just know like I can lean into trust more, which is more fun for me. It used to be very scary because I didn't have trust. I was trying to force it. I was trying to make it work. I was faking it. I remember one time this woman said to me, "Oh, we can just rework it." And I'm like, "You can't rework what is, right? Like it just is."
It
So
is.
I'm like, no, you trying to manipulate this thing to make it something and brush the dust off of it. No, it's dirty. It's dirt. That's it. Like, the grim, the dust, that film, it's on it. There's no way to
Mhm.
strip that away. So for me, I'm just grateful for this new space of just like quiet. I'm just quiet. I'm like, okay, it's gonna work how it's gonna work. Like it's gonna be revealed. I don't have to do nothing. I can just be and it comes true to its being in front of me.
And then what do you say to yourself when it doesn't come to be and you're trying to
Okay.
let go? Okay.
Okay. There is a way that I just let myself say, okay, because I've seen so many receipts on this. Like, I'm telling you, I just keep playing back over and over again. And let's be clear. There's that broken record, that toxic noise, that censoring, that trauma, like those things. We have to decipher between that, right? Because
Mm-mm.
if I play that over and over again, then that will be a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. I have been committed to playing the miracles over and over again, the moments that reassured my faith when I couldn't see. I play that so often. I mean, to the point where even right now, as an artist, I'm going to be straight up. There's no money. I've never
Right.
been negative that way. I've always been abundant. I've always been in a place of like supreme positivity. And this year specifically, I have seen negatives so many times in my bank account. I've seen like moving things around and all right, well, get it to $1. It's like I'm serious. It's not a joke right now in artistry and entrepreneurship and just all of it, the
Mhm.
world, right? Eggs are $12, like things, life is lifing. And I have had moments where I'm like, ooh, you're getting into like a negative space. What can you do? What are some tools? Again, what can I lean on? What's in my luggage that I can go back to, right? And I'm like, let me go back in my luggage and get my journal. And I just write out a million times over the same thing. Even if that's all I write, that is me remembering the miracle, like bringing the miracle forward of what is possible, even
Mhm.
in the midst of what seems like impossibility. So it's
Yeah.
that constant reminder of possibility.
It's looking for that evidence in the past too. The past taught you that what was not for you was not worth chasing. And the past taught you that miracles can happen and beautiful things can come out of like
Correct.
the driest ground. The
Absolutely.
other thing I hear in what you're saying that I think is really brilliant and repeatable for all of us is this question you ask yourself of what do you have in your luggage?
Because
Right? Because there
yeah,
are
we have.
resources in short supply,
Yeah.
but what
Yeah, we
resources do
have.
you have?
We have. Like we absolutely, and that's the thing that I would say is kind of my amniotic fluid is that we have. Like I have always had. even when I didn't have. I grew up a single parent household. I remember us sitting by candlelight eating and doing homework because my mom didn't have money for the rent or the electricity bill. Like, I remember, my family came from another country. They were immigrants. They scrubbed floors. They like saved children, other people's children to just like make it happen, right? And I still have seen some of the most beautiful resilience in my life. I've seen there still be joy when a Celia Cruz song comes on, or, like we all just like come together. It's like in the midst of all of that, there was still, right? I have still. So I've been really, really blessed, I would say, to have that balance because I know it can go a whole nother way. You look
Mm-hmm.
at some of the things going on in the world right now, and it's like, it does not look good. It looks bleak. It looks dark. It looks like terror, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really am grateful that I've been able to balance with the good,
Mm-hmm.
find the good
Yeah. And I think that's it. It's finding the good because both are happening in all of our lives all the time. And it's
all
not
the time.
fake positivity.
No, it's very real
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
It exists. I mean, you could be sitting in like a war zone and then a rainbow comes out. Like
Yeah.
there can be all kinds of like dark moments in our lives, and then a blessing comes through, or somehow we made it through another month, or, another year, another 10 years. So I genuinely believe that there is still good, and we just have to find it. And
Mm.
so long as we're going after it, we're seeking it out, I feel that the universe, God, the ancestors, everybody just like conspires to keep fueling us in
And
that
it's
pursuit.
constantly a question of what's right for right now.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah. Because it's going to change.
It's going to
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been an educator for decades.
Yeah. I started at 9 assisting teaching in my local dance school. And then the director saw kind of well, if you ask some of my elders, they say that I was teaching them on the sidelines of my mom's dance classes that she would
Mhm.
take, because I would like pick up the step and then see you struggling and like go behind you and help you do it or what have you. When I was like 4 or 5, if I got the step, I'm going to like help. So there's always been that nurturing spirit and that kind of like motherly, gotta like take everybody with me energy. But I got my first official class when I was 10 years old, and I've been teaching ever since. And I'll never forget, I was on a panel and the lady described me as a dance teacher, and I was so upset. And my mom was like, "But you teach dance." I'm like, "That's not all I do, Mom. That's not all I do." Dance has been my foundation. Dance is kind of what brought me into this world, and it's probably gonna take me out. Dance is where I start. Teaching is what I can do, but it's not all of who I am. I do notice though, when you speak of through lines, all of the work I make does have an educational and entertainment
Yeah.
component to it. There's always some level of enlightenment, and that's just based on my own yearning. Because I genuinely love to learn. I love to
Mm.
grow. I'm always looking for more ways to grow, and my work really is connected to that.
I think that's true for most of us. When people feel flat and
Yes.
uninspired or lost or stuck, it's almost always because they're not learning. And I'm
That's
kind of a believer,
beautiful.
right? Like I'm
Yes.
kind of a believer that like we don't even have to like learn anything useful. Learning anything can reawaken us.
That is incredible. And I guess to your point, I'm just like thinking back to my life. Yeah, thus far, I'm always in a state of learning. I always place myself in an environment to learn. I love, even just personally, to be around people who can teach me and who I can teach. When that growth stops or that learning stops, or there is not the pursuit of it, yeah, I'm out,
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
it doesn't work, or I usually have outlearned or outgrown the environment or the dynamic. And I'm like, okay, this is where it no longer serves me.
Mhm.
Totally agree.
Yeah, it's like this isn't fun anymore because I'm not getting my fuel from it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and as I
Absolutely.
as I looked at your bio, it was like it really did highlight for me your passion for giving to others through nurturing. And so I'm curious, with all these years, literally a lifetime
A
of
lifetime.
coaching and mentoring and teaching,
Yes.
what you see as the biggest mental blocks for creatives and artists of all sorts. What gets in the way of being fully expressed and playing big?
There's sort of two things that, in my own experience, I would say. One is my undealt with trauma, the hard stuff, the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want to face, the conversations I didn't have or didn't want to have or avoided, the hurt that was just too hurtful and I couldn't even face it. I couldn't bring it up. I couldn't talk about it. I have actually found so much more available to me when I deal with that stuff, when I face
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, when I have those hard conversations. I have found way more joy. I have found way more healing. I've found way more lucidity and creativity when I just faced it. It's similar to that bag in the corner that we just don't go through, right? You just don't go in that room. You don't sweep in there, mop in there, nothing, the back of the closet that we don't touch. Those things are things I've been calling forth, literally and figuratively. I've been like, you know what? I done had enough. I done tripped over this bag so many times trying to plug the lamp in over there. What is in this bag?
Mm-hmm.
In unpacking, literally,
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, there were films that came that I didn't see possible. There were productions I've written. There are stories I have been just dreaming. There are ideas that have come that I didn't anticipate. I have given so much more of myself to my projects because I actually have space. I don't have that resentment or that pain, that hurt that's in here taking up, because sometimes it's like those little headaches. Like it could be a little headache that's like right here, or it could take the whole front lobe,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, dang, it's not going away. It's not going away. It's not going away. Like, what do I do? So for me, part one is being courageous enough to deal with that stuff because there's physical clutter and then there's emotional clutter. There is mental clutter that's in the
Mm-hmm.
way. It
Mm-hmm.
is in the way. You keep tripping over it. You keep repeating that same mistake, that habit. It's not going away. It's not going away. It's because we as humans, and it's hurtful stuff. Like, I'm not saying this is easy. It's very painful. However, I'm just like, I'm not afraid. And I wrote this in my journal the other day. I'm really proud of myself that I'm not afraid to face the pain of what might be painful. Like, I am not afraid to face it because if I'm in, again, that same ethos of what will be, what will not be, won't.
Mm-hmm.
As I am in that facing, that courage, that courage space, that courage corner, everything for me will be revealed. And whatever reception or lack thereof that comes of it from the hard conversation or the hard whatever, then what will be, what won't, who will be, who won't. Like, I get answers.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is more dear to me. That is more important to me than the pride of I'm okay or, I'm good. I don't need to. It's fine. It's fine. It ain't fine. It's not fine. It's going to get fine though, because I'm going to get it fine. But it ain't fine. And this is how. And then that just furthers answers of what I like. It furthers and strengthens who I am. So that's part one.
Mm.
And part two for me is fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And
Mm-hmm.
I say it not as an expert. I say it as an impert, okay? Like I'm in this with you.
That's my new favorite word.
I'm an impert, boo. I ain't no expert, okay? I'm an impert, okay? And I'm with you in this, trying to figure out this fear thing. It is false evidence appearing real. Emphasis on appearing. The
Uh-huh.
minute that you change something, whether it's something about yourself, something about where you're standing, something about what you're seeing, something about who you're talking to, the minute that that changes, everything changes. So I have been like, I remember one time I was traveling to Mexico. My grandmother, she's like, be careful because I heard on the news that, like they're dying and they're shooting and they're robbing and they're stealing and they're this and they're that. All of that could very well be true. I was on a resort in a private place, wasn't nothing going on but the beach. I was like, but I'm sitting here having a pina colada that is fabulous. It's like, perspective is something.
Yeah.
Because if you're not sitting in the experience presently, then you are going to think all kinds of things. But you could be actually in the experience and not be experiencing that at all. So for me, I've been dancing also. So I've been dancing with trust, right? Like, what does trust feel like? Like trusting the spirit, trusting energy, God, like, okay, everything's going to align. Universe got me. I've also been dancing with being present, because then that allows me to trust. That allows me to let myself know this, my spidey sense is going off. This means this, or I need to change my environment. I need to change who I'm around, blah, blah, blah. And in that like little dance of being present, which is a big dance, it's a huge number.
Mm-hmm.
It's the finale. It's the production, actually. It's the production of present, okay? Starring me. In the production of being present, there's so many ways that I can declutter. Again, I can just let go, because I'm like, oh, that actually is not what's currently playing. That's not the piece we're on. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the scene I'm on. I'm not in that act right now.
Mm-hmm.
Versus me not being present and bringing all this other baggage with me that's actually not on this trip. That's why listen, it's been work though. I'm saying this again, not as an expert. I'm an impert. I'm inside of it.
Empowering, though, to think that the way through is to do the hard work.
I know. Isn't that something? That's the thing that really trips me up. Like I was a math major at one point in college, and I'm just like, that's the hardest equation I've ever encountered. And I done calculus 3'd it, okay? Like I done some stuff, okay? And I'm like, isn't that something? That the only way, and they say it all the time, like in order to go through it, you have to grow through it. It's just no way around it. And
Straighten the knee.
yeah, it's a straight knee. It's like you have to straighten the knee if you want
Yeah.
it to be straight. It's
The
funny too
arms can look
because,
fabulous.
but if the knee ain't straight, nobody cared, honey. If the foot ain't pointed, you didn't do the step. That's just what that is. It's so funny, we're in this season of gentle parenting, and I get that there's a way that we all were raised, that we all had been being raised that was toxic. There's a way that we were enduring some things that were just like, girl, what now? And some of that stuff is even coming to light where you're looking around kind of like, wait a minute, you mean that wasn't okay? You mean I didn't want that? I remember my therapist said, a child can't have an appetite of an adult. And I'm like, thank you. That just like freed me of so much, because there was so much that we thought we were just supposed to just take and want, and we wanted it and we asked for it and we didn't. Now we're in this phase where I feel like if we prevent our children from going through things, they're not going to grow. They're not
Mm-hmm.
growing, right? So I get the knee-jerk reaction of wanting to prevent hurt. That is like savior of it all, right? That's the
Yeah.
first thing you want to be to your child, to your friend, to
To
your loved
yourself.
one, to yourself. Come on. Is like, oh no, I need to protect myself. Oh no, I don't want to feel that. I don't want them to go through what I went through. And I just find that that's a bit unrealistic. Like, we're gonna fall. Like, we are. News
Yeah.
alert. Hey, spoiler, you guys. Spoiler alert. In the next episode of your life, you're gonna fall.
Yeah. You're going to need stitches. You're going to get fired.
God, like, the list goes on. It's like, hey, you're not gonna have money today. You'll be all
Uh-huh.
right.
Uh-huh.
like, hey, you're going to break your glasses, get surgery, your hair's going to fall out. Yeah.
You're going to
Hey, you're
lose
not going to
someone
like
you
the number.
love.
You're going to lose someone you love. You're not going to like the number on the scale. Like all of these things. Hey, spoiler alert. Like coming at you live,
Mhm.
right. It's like, so yeah, we have to have the courage to be like, yo, let's go. Be like, strap up your boots. Let's do it. Come on. What
Mhm.
else? Let's
Mhm.
go.
Let's go. Yeah. Now I'm that much stronger.
I am. Last year I ruptured my Achilles. I'm like,
Oh,
whoa.
oh,
And I
that takes
wasn't
a
even
long
doing,
time to recover from.
tell me about it. Here I am. I wasn't even doing that much. So I was offended for like 9 out of the 12 months. I've just been offended. And then I'm like, okay,
Uh,
okay. But I realized, because I've like swung from freaking, don't even get me started on the things that I've done in my career performance wise. And I'm just like, this took me out. That's annoying. Okay, got it. Well, with that though, I do see there was a part of me that was like mad and I'm like, girl, hey, things happen.
yeah.
You're not perfect. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I threw my back out sitting at my desk.
I threw my back out before too. Girl, don't even get me started. Exactly.
I was offended
You're
to your point.
offended.
But
It's
then I remembered
offensive.
it wasn't from sitting at my desk in that one moment.
It
It
was
was
from
thousands
everything
of other
else.
days just
Absolutely.
happened to culminate in that one moment.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely.
So you've done so many big, brave things in your life.
My
And
goodness. Thank you.
this podcast is living proof that we can do big, brave things. What's the next big, brave thing for you, Charisma?
Let me start off by saying I do big, brave things scared, and I do them anyway. I lean into what scares me because that's the stuff, like you said, about like creating the always learning dynamic in our lives. 99.9%, there's a chance I'm going to be doing something I'm scared to do, and I'm going to do it anyway. And so for me, filmmaking scares me, and it's something that I'll say one of the reasons it scares me is because there's nothing perfect about it. And I want it to be right so bad that then I have to surrender in real time. So I'm like having to coach myself while directing and, is this good? Is this good? Action, literally, that's literally what's happening. So I'm like, is this good? Is it going well? Is it working? Is it working? Action. And I'm like, how am I able to say action still? Like, how am I able to still keep going, but that's not what's going on. And it's courage. It's just the courage to do so. It's the bravery, if you will. So for me, I've done short films. We won awards. We got into film festivals straight out the gate. I'm like
Congratulations.
super proud of my
Bonkers.
babies, my filmmaking baby, my film babies. And I want to do a feature. I feel very nervous about that. If I was playing it safe, it would be a documentary. If I did the brave thing, it would be a love story. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna. I'm going to. I'm
I
probably gonna
literally
start.
started to cry when you said
My
that.
gosh. Yeah, because love is nuanced and it's something that I'm still learning. And it's something that I think all my like childhood, all my adolescence, I thought by this big age I would have the answer to. So for the last couple years, I've had to surrender to the fact that I'm still in learning in that area, right? And it's not even that I'm talking about romantic love only. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about love of self. Like I thought
Mm-hmm.
I would have the answer. The mathematician in me thought I would have this answer
Would be
solved.
solved.
Right. I love a good X equals, honey. Don't get me started. So in the solving of that, I am learning to release control so that I can just be in it instead of having an answer for it. Because when we try to have an answer for things, then we're in the doing and we're not in the being, which
Mm-hmm.
means we're not being present, right? The brave thing would be to tell a love story, even though I don't think I have the full answer. So that's what I'm going to challenge myself to do. I'm going to work on it being a short first. It's so funny too, because I have such a great chosen circle of family. The people who I have strategically and emotionally and lovingly put in my circle are like top tier. And I'm really, really
Mm-hmm.
grateful for all of them. They know who they are, who know me. Not know me as, because that's different. Know me, that's different. And the people who know me, they hold me accountable. So the other day I was like, oh, I'm gonna cast someone else in this film. And one of my really good friends, Marcio, was like, no, you're in the film. And we were talking about the love story film, right? And I'm like, no, I just want to direct. Like, I don't want to be acting in it because I've acted in several of my projects before. And I was just like, no, I really want. And she's like, no, 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 no. She's absolutely right. That would be me not doing the brave thing. So we
Stepping
need
back
those
an
kind.
inch.
Yeah, we need those kind of people who know us and know us enough to say, no,
That's how we stay stuck in the patterns, is
K-N-O-W.
without
Correct.
that. Yep.
Correct. There's no and no, right? So that K-N-O-W, no, 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 we're not going to, no, 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 we're not going to let you do that. So the
I
big
heard
brave
you
thing I
when you
have coming.
said, this is what you envision, and I'm going to hold you true to your
That.
vision. I always say, and I don't know if you feel like this as a coach, I feel like as a coach, so much of my job is to be those bumpers in the bowling lane, to be
Yes.
like, I
Go
think
this way a
this
little
is
bit.
where you said you
Yeah.
were going. I thought you meant here.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we get scared, and then we're just like, "Ooh, I'm in a
All of
ditch."
us. Yep. How do I get out? What do I need? What do I
That takes a
do?
lot of energy. So every guest on our show nominates another guest. Who inspires you that you want to nominate as an uplifter?
One of my really good friends, Candace, because she puts like the multi and multifaceted, and she is an advocate for artists and herself and her friends, her family, her child and her children to come, her husband. Like I just watch her do so many things and also bring so many forward. She brings my name up in ways that I didn't even imagine. She brings me up in rooms I'm not in all the time. And she does it without needing any recognition. Sometimes I don't even know she genuinely believes in me. I would also have to say in this moment, my mom.
Mm.
My mom does so much for so many. She is like everybody's mom. I lend her to so many people. And she uplifts me sometimes more than I see her do it for herself. I watch that even as coaches, we have that thing where, again, we know how to show up for others and how do we do it for ourselves. So those two are women who are relentless in their love and support. And I stand on them and so many others' shoulders.
Amazing. I hope we get to meet them. They sound incredible. So, as uplifters, to your point, we love to lift others up. How can we lift you up?
My goodness, what a
Charisma.
great question. You better work.
Just
How can you
picturing
lift me
RuPaul
up?
now.
Exactly.
Fun fact, I saw RuPaul in concert in 1993.
Of course you did. That's
3 songs.
there.
Was that 3 songs?
Come on, 3 songs,
But
and
You
it
Better
will,
Work
and
was
it
one of
worked,
them.
right? I was gonna say, right, and it worked. Okay,
It worked.
I I think we're in this social media time where you can be an influencer but not have influence, and you cannot be an influencer and have influence, which is interesting.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so I know strategically and analytically, in order to quote unquote appear like I have influence, I need numbers, I need views, I need likes, I need clicks, I need all of that. And as an artist, I'm actually in the field doing the art and doing the work. So I don't always have time, to I don't always have time, period. Uplifting me looks like that advocacy and support, like liking the post,
Yes.
sharing it, telling a friend to tell a friend, connecting me to someone, not only today, but for the more days to come. It's just not enough to do what's immediate. We need to do what's long term in this game because
Yeah.
art is getting cut. It's just a lot going on. And for me, when I make something, I've had in the past people feel so uplifted by it and they're crying. All of that has happened in my experience, and that's not to take away from it. It just was fleeting and it left me still at zero for the next project. It didn't, it's like, okay, did you tell the person who has the power to put me into the rotation on TBS? Did you call your friend from Vogue to do a feature on my nonprofit and then tell your friend at Essence and then tell your friend at Ebony and then tell your friend at Forbes? Like, it's one is not enough.
I loved
Thank
meeting
you
you,
for
and I can't
having
wait to
me.
share your story. And I will, with so much integrity, like and share everything you do.
You better work. Listen, I was
I'm
just
ready.
telling my partner, I was like, I really just appreciate the fact that when I share with you what I need, you go into overhaul of like, I'm going to do it.
Mhm.
That to me is so empowering. It really is. It's just like I said, oh, can you pick this up when you come in the house next time? And it's picked up. That's it. That's what we need more in the world. It's
Yeah.
actually taking the intentional steps to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah. It's caring enough to listen to what someone needs without editing through our own lens of fear.
Exactly. And then getting to work. I need to do.
Yeah. More than ever.
Thank you for doing all that you're doing. Just even the seed that you're planting, we need upliftment. That's more of what we need. Like
There's plenty
actually.
to drag us down.
Correct. And even in the work that I do, I really have been working hard to stay true to the wholesomeness of my work. I don't need it to be toxic for it to be entertainment. I don't need for it to
Hmm.
bring people down. I actually am not interested in driving on the street with people who consume toxic stuff. I'm not interested in hiring them. I'm not interested in being around them being my neighbors. I am more interested in people who are uplifted. I need them to be uplifted as I am in my pursuit of upliftment. So I'm like, yeah, let's squabble up. That's what this feels like. It's like, get the squad together because we all are not okay with how it's been going, and we're doing something about it.
Everything around us says the only thing that thrives is controversy. And you're saying, I don't want to be surrounded with those who need controversy
It's actually
in
not
order
my
to pay
truth.
attention.
Correct. It's not my truth. And like I said, I unpacked all my controversy. I deal with it. Once you take away like the edge on stuff, it's like, it's just wholesome. Like, it's so funny. It's like, it's organic food. It's like, once you take away the chemicals, like
Yes.
the pesticides, like, have you ever bit into an heirloom tomato? Like an organic heirloom like, guys, are you kidding?
It's different.
It's different, babe. It's wholesome. It's fulfilling. It literally breathes life for generations.
Yes. Yes.
At first, it used to offend me, and now I just find it funny. Like if our films or any of my projects like don't get chosen for things, and then I see like some toxic stuff get chosen, I'm just like, girl,
Not,
I'm not
not my place.
controversial. I'm
Yeah.
courageous. There's a difference.
Thank you. That's my new tagline for this show.
There's a
Not
difference.
controversy, courage. I mean, that is really it.
That's it. That's all. It's like, we could be loving.
Mm.
That could be joyful.
Hmm.
It could change the world. Even yeah, it's very radical. It's radical to be loving. Isn't that something? To like not have drama. Like even with some of my friends, some of my relationships, it's always just like you don't know how to be loved. That's real.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's real. You've never been loved before.
And I
Got
feel for
that.
you, but I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, no, I can't teach you that.
Yeah.
I actually am not responsible for you knowing how to be loved. I'm responsible for how to love you. I'm not
And knowing how to
responsible
love
for,
myself.
yeah, and knowing how to love myself. I'm not responsible for teaching you how to be loved. Nah, that's a you job. Listen, shout out to us. Shout out to you. Shout out to like choosing the positive and wholesome way to do things. Shout out to healing and actually being healed. Shout out to love and loving in return.
Yeah. And we learned this by example. You learned it from your mother, you learned it from the people in your
Correct.
community, and
Correct.
now you get to share it here with these people. And we all get stronger the more time we spend together. The science shows that we are the sum total of the people we spend the most
That's
time
it.
with. It.
That's it.
So we surround ourselves with love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Uplifters podcast. If this inspired you, hit subscribe and tap the bell to stay uplifted. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a little lift today. Big love.
Painted water sunshine with rosemary and thyme. Dwell in the perplexing, though you find it vexing. Toss a star and hover, be your own best lover. Relish in a new prime, plant a tree in springtime. Dance with idle hindsight, bring the sun to twilight.